Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Permission to Be Wealthy. I'm Joseph. My wife is Stephanie, who you'll see come onto the channel later, diving a little bit deeper into our stock portfolio and our overall investments. But I wanted to just give you a quick intro to our video that you're going to be seeing today. This was a video that I recorded the other day, just thinking about our lives and what they've become compared to what they used to be, and taking a minute to slow down. Actually taking like a year and a half to slow down and seeing if that's the type of life that we want, which I think is, but you'll have to watch the video to see if that's something that you're interested in as well. Talking about our lives here in Portugal, talking about our lives previously living in Singapore and Bali for a bit. Well, Singapore for 4 years, Bali for about 60 days, and then ultimately making our decision to come here to Portugal and how it's affected our family. So I hope you enjoy this video. It's a very raw, uncut video. So, and I was also sick, so you have to excuse my voice. But anyhow, enjoy the video. Okay, so one of the things that I want to get better at in 2024, as we're ending 2023, is just becoming a better storyteller. And one of the first stories I want to talk about is slow living. And so I have all my notes written here. And, one of the first things that comes up is eliminating the unnecessary. I think whenever you think about slow living, a lot of people think I'm going to be abandoning all the things that I've pursued before. That's not necessarily true. What it means in some capacity is just completely eliminating the things that just don't serve you anymore, whether that's people, whether that's food, whether that is, a certain thing that you do, such as watching too much television and or YouTube, if you're watching YouTube right now. I think that's how I look at it. You have to remove the unnecessary people and things out of your life to be able to step back and slow down and enjoy the moments that you want to enjoy. So for me, I started doing more research on slow living and realized that we as human beings just want to connect and learn. Oftentimes, there's some things that we want to be expedited whenever we're in business, but sometimes we just want to get the clues so that we can figure things out for ourselves. Like, I'm about to be 40 and I want to know so much more about the world that I haven't had the opportunity to learn because I've been working for so long. I want to learn so much more about my kids and what they want. I want to learn so much more about my wife and what she wants and needs, right? And learn so much more about myself and what I want and what I need. Because for so long, it's all been work, work, work. And now I get to pursue happiness. Now, I'm not saying moving slower is going to make me happier, but as we know, you go out to the beach, you go out to the wilderness, you go camping. For some of us, that makes us happier. And so I look forward to being able to do that with my family and getting to experience that with them. The other thing that I wrote down here is just more room to explore and expand. So by eliminating a lot of the work that I was doing previously and getting rid of the clients that I had, I've done this for the last decade. I've worked really hard, and now we have this life, and we've, pursued this freedom that we have, and now I get to have this space to explore and expand my knowledge and my pursuit of things that I hope will make me happier. Not that I'm not a happy person. I have a great life. I'm very happy. But it's not work. I don't want it to be work. I want it to be things that just spark joy in my day, not putting out fires for other people all day long. And so pursuing music, pursuing my creative pursuits, like creating content like this, right? And just letting people be a part of our lives. I want to talk about my experiences and also show you those things, right? Our experiences as a family. I'll probably flash some pictures up here in a second of going to the Atlantic Ocean, flying on a plane back to California to visit family, to Texas, to West Texas, to Central Texas and Houston, getting to see our kids experience that together, living in Bali for a while, our lives in Singapore, all these different things. I want you guys and ladies and families to be able to see that, so you can decide if that's something that you want to try out for yourselves. And so I hope that, as I show these things and we talk deeper about these things in the future, that you will get to experience them through us to decide if you want to experience them for yourselves. The other part of this about slowing down and having thought about the slow life is a lot of us as human beings, feel stressed and overwhelmed when it comes to work. And then work and money in the pursuit of bigger houses, better cars, all these things. And so now that we've done that, we've had a big house, we've had very nice cars, we've had all of that, stepping back and saying, what if it's different now? What if we chase something different? What if we chase just enjoying the days, walking down the street to get a beer, walking down the street to have a coffee, sit at a cafe, have lunch, take the time to see what's around us versus speeding to get to lunch, not speeding in a car, but just speeding through lunch, if you will, and hurrying back to the office or hurrying back to get on a phone call. What if we just gave ourselves that time? And so how will that relieve the overwhelm and stress in our lives? And how will that affect us on a day-to-day basis? And maybe that's a question you ask yourself as well. How will it affect you if that's something that you want to pursue? And for us right now, since we've been doing it for a year and a half, well, I've still been doing some work. I can tell already that I'm enjoying life a lot more. And I think the same for Stephanie. And so, if you were to ask us on a scale to 1 to 10, how enjoyable is it to slow down? Well, for the last year and a half, it's been great. It's probably a 15 or 20, if not higher. So, take that as you will. The next thing is giving ourselves room to breathe. You get so caught up in the rat race, if you will, or the matrix as they call it these days. You are just going all the time, that the only thing you think about is work and money and how to get more work done to make more money, to get more clients, to make more money. And very rarely do you actually get to sit back and breathe and enjoy everything that you've worked so hard for. And so I'm glad that at the age of 39, soon to be 40, that we're going to do that for ourselves. As I talk about slow living, the other thing that came to mind was we have to think about time as a finite resource. Once it is gone in our particular lives, each of us, we don't get that time back. I think Steve Jobs, when he was alive, he talked about, before he passed away, wishing that he could have more time. He could buy more time, but money would not do that for him. That's paraphrasing, obviously. And so I don't want to be chasing a life and at the end of my life going, I wish I had more time. I want to say I spent my time really well. I enjoyed my time with my family and my kids. We lived a great life together. And so whenever people ask older generations what's their biggest regret, it was not spending enough time with family or telling them that they love them enough. And so I'm doing my best, and Stephanie is doing her best to make sure we do that for our kids now and for ourselves also, right? Selfishly speaking. And so that when we get to the end of this thing here on this big round rock that we're all on, we get to say, hey, we did what we wanted to do. It took us 39 years, 40 years to figure it out, but we worked for that time, and now we have the finances to be able to sit back and enjoy our kids and this life. The next thing that I've written down here is life is flying by, right? That feeling that we all have. The days turn into weeks, the weeks turn into months, and the months turn into years, and it seems like a blink of an eye. We get busier, things move faster as we get older. And so as you look at that, I don't want my days to turn into weeks, to turn into months, to turn into years at a blink of an eye. I want to wake up every single day and go, oh man, we enjoyed the beach yesterday. It was fantastic. The kids are enjoying it. Because if you think, whenever you were a child, summers seemed to last forever, didn't they? They seemed to go on for ages. And as you got older, or as you have kids, it seems like everything just is flying by. Because you have work. You work from 9 to 5, or not, if not earlier, then later. And then you go take the kids to whatever they're going to, or you pick them up from school, and you got laundry, and you got all these different things that are happening. And you just don't take time to enjoy it. And all of a sudden you've blinked, and a year, 2 years, 3 years have gone by. And so for us, and for me specifically, I want to say, I got to slow time down because I got to enjoy each and every single day moving forward. And so I'm really excited about that part of our lives. As we look at things slowing down and being able to slow down time, that's one of the things I'm excited about. The other thing that I wrote here is I want life to feel longer and more full. My grandfather, hopefully he doesn't mind me talking about him, he is such an amazing storyteller. And the stories that he tells just bring a smile to my face, not just to my face, anybody that he tells the stories to. And as he tells those stories, I can just absolutely see it in his eyes that he's lived a full life, a happy life. And not that he hasn't had his own issues to deal with when it comes to family and dealing with things. If there was a man that I would emulate in regard to being able to tell stories about my life and the enjoyment of life, it would be my grandfather, Grandpa Bob. If you watch this, thank you for being a great example. This goes back to what I just said a minute ago, which is our childhood seemed to stretch on forever, right? We're out singing, dancing, learning, having a good time, experiencing life as it came to us for the first time. And I want that to be something that we get to do with our kids. I want them to have that novelty of life. And at the same time, Stephanie and I get to experience those things with them. And that helps slow down life, because every time you can have something for the first time you ate a delicious piece of food, the first time you jumped in water, right, at the swimming pool, like those memories are core memories. And I want that for my kids, and I want that for us, because the more we can do that and experience that, the slower life becomes for all of us, and those memories stick forever. And so, one of the ways that we plan on slowing down life is just having more experiences together as a family. And I can see it in our kids' eyes now whenever they do things. It's just like it sticks in their minds so long. And so I look forward to continuing to pursue that as well, just the novelties of life, the first-time experiences. I also wrote here, I want to form new memories for me and first-time memories for our boys. And, I kind of just hit on that, but there are just so many things, right? Meeting new people, learning a new language, which we're doing right now. We're learning Portuguese. That'll be an interesting pursuit. Experiencing a new city, which we're doing now. We just moved to a new city. And then all inspiring experiences. Right now, our kids are going through swimming lessons, and seeing both boys enjoy the enjoyment they're having in those swimming lessons is it's pure gold. You can't, I can't explain. I mean, maybe the parents who are watching this, you know what I'm talking about. Life is just, it's so cool. It's so cool to see that and see it from a parent's eyes rather than your own eyes. And I can just imagine the thoughts that they have when they are so excited every week whenever they have swimming. These new experiences that they're having, we're so excited about. The first time they get to swim in the ocean, now they've dipped their feet in it, but they haven't swam before in the ocean and put their face underwater in the ocean. And so whenever summer comes back around, I can't wait to see their faces whenever they see underwater for the first time with their goggles on in the ocean. Like, that's going to be such a profound moment for them and for us, and I'm excited about that. I wrote, enjoying each moment as it comes and taking the time to enjoy them. So often in our lives, we have these moments that are fleeting. They come and then they're gone in a blink of an eye. But because of the way I'm structuring my life now and creating content and talking more about life, those moments I hope are not as fleeting, because at the end of each night, I hope to write about them and then create videos about them. Because, try not to get emotional here, playing college football, I've had a ton of concussions, and my memory is not the best. And so I hope as I slow life down and take this time, that I get to keep those memories. And if I cannot remember them, that the writing plus the videos will help me memorize or have memories of these things, and take the time and the moment to enjoy them as they come to us versus letting them flee as fast as they'll go. All right, I'll try not to cry. Something I watched today talked about this. The more mental checkpoints that you can have along your journey of the goals that you're trying to accomplish, the better you remember those things. And the slower time gets, because every time you accomplish one of those goals, you have this mental checkpoint that helps time slow down, because that becomes kind of like a core memory for you. So for example, one of the things that I want to do is I want this channel to be at 100,000 subscribers. One, because that means I get to impact more people's lives. And one of the core things that I live by is help others. It's actually it's our business hashtag. And I truly believe in that. And so that's one of the goals. And so whenever each milestone towards that, the first 1,000, the first 5,000, the first 10,000, 20,000, whatever that number becomes, I'm going to celebrate that, because that's going to be a nice mental checkpoint for me to slow things down and say, wow, we are impacting this many people. And so if you're one of those people who subscribes, thank you. We look forward to impacting your life in a positive way, and we hope that we can do that for you. And by the way, thank you, because you're helping me slow my life down a little bit and have these mental checkpoints and celebrating life. So instead of letting time just fly by, we've taken these steps to do something about it. And if you're feeling like you yourself feel time flying by as well, I think now is probably the best time, if you can, to do something about it, plan for it, so that you can slow time down for you and your family, and you can enjoy that, or for yourself, right? Take time off and take a trip. So with all that being said, I hope that you got something from this video. I hope that you see how we're trying to live purposefully and with intention moving forward as we approach the age of 40 with 2 young children. And I hope that you decide to subscribe. You'll probably get a few videos like this, but you'll also get more educational videos. And I hope at the end of the day, you give yourself permission to be wealthy, whether it is through life and or your finances or whatever that is. Make sure you give yourself permission to be wealthy.